Today, we're talking about something huge. It's a fundamental shift in how we find our motivation and our self-worth, one that doesn't depend on anyone else. So let's be honest. You've been there, right? You post something online you're actually proud of, and then you wait. You're hitting refresh, just looking for that little thumbs up that says, hey, good job. Why? Why does that little digital signal have so much power over how we feel? Well, it turns out a lot of us are caught in what you could call the validation trap. And it's sneaky, It feels like you're doing something, it feels productive, but really, it's a cage. A cage built entirely out of what other people think. When you're in that trap, you're always, constantly chasing applause. Think about it. We start to tweak our actions, our words, even what we're thinking, all to get that positive nod from the crowd. It's like we're performing for some invisible audience instead of, just living for ourselves. And these days, that audience is online 24/7. So we end up living for the comments section. Our entire mood can swing like a pendulum based on what complete strangers are saying. One good comment and you're on top of the world. One bad one and it can just tank your whole day. Our self-worth literally becomes this public thing up for grabs. This is really the heart of the problem, isn't it? It's an approval treadmill. You run, you get that praise, and it feels great for a second. But then that feeling just evaporates, and you're left needing another hit, another like, another comment. You're constantly running, but you're not actually going anywhere. So, the big question is, do we have to live like this? Is there another way to operate? And the answer is a big yes. The source material we're looking at here lays out two totally different blueprints for how we get motivated. And here they are, side by side. You've got the external blueprint, which, as you can see, runs on social buzz and praise, and then you have the internal blueprint. This one is fueled by something completely different, a real deep sense of inner conviction. It's about being aligned with your own self. Okay, so let's dig into that external blueprint a little more. This is exactly that treadmill we were just talking about. Your motivation is completely tied to things outside of you. You need that promotion, that compliment, that reaction from the crowd to feel worthy. It's a really reactive way to live, right? You're always just waiting for someone else to give you the fuel to get going. Now, the internal blueprint, that's a whole different ballgame. It creates a totally different reality. Think about it. People who operate this way, they don't need a symbolic date like New Year's Day to decide to make a change. Their motivation, it comes from inside. It's self-generated. Their sense of worth is defined from within. Okay, so this is the crucial part, right? How do we actually build this for ourselves? How do we construct this kind of solid internal architecture? Well, it all starts with a really important psychological idea. It's a concept called the internal locus of control. It sounds a bit technical, but all it really means is this. It's the core belief that you are the one in the driver's seat of your own life. You're at the helm of the ship. Not public opinion, not random luck, but you. To put it another way, it's like you're firing your external audience and hiring an internal compass instead. Your direction stops being guided by that constant question, what will they think? And it starts coming from a much deeper place. What feels true for me? It is an absolutely fundamental shift. And when you make that shift, this is what you get. This quote from the source material just nails it. It talks about the rare freedom of not craving validation. And that's exactly what it is. This isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. It's a really profound way of being. And honestly, it's often forged in the fire when we go through really tough stuff. Which brings us to the payoff. What does this rare freedom actually look and feel like in your day-to-day life? Well, it's the freedom of not caring. And I mean that in the most powerful, positive, and constructive way you can imagine. Here's what you actually get. You get the freedom to act whenever you decide to, not just because the calendar says January 1st. You get freedom from that paralyzing sting of criticism because your self-worth is no longer up for public debate. You get the freedom to do the work that matters to you, even if nobody is watching. And maybe most importantly, you get the freedom to define what success even means for you on your own terms. And really, this is the whole point. It's about building a source of motivation that is 100% your own. It's totally weatherproof. It doesn't care if it's Monday or Friday or what's trending on social media. It's just reliable, it's resilient, and it's all yours. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with just one final question to think about, a question about your own internal architecture. Take a second and ask yourself, is the foundation of your self worth built on the solid rock of your own values? Or is it built on the shifting sand of what other people think, of social media likes? It's a really important question to ask yourself. Thanks for joining me.